Alright guys, so today I'm going to be breaking down 3 tips to make your 540 a lot better. These are pretty simple concepts, but you're going to have to try it a lot in order to actually implement these properly and effectively. So let's get started. Alright, so tip number 1, make sure that you are doing a roundhouse kick, not a crescent kick. A lot of people have the habit of just getting up in the air and letting that leg come around as quickly as possible. Alright, but the problem is when they come around, their kick is straight up and down like this. Now, that can work for some people, but this is a kick ultimately, and just letting your leg ride out is not kicking anything, because you want to think about a kick as it relates to a target. So if I have a target, wherever the target would be, let's say you're the target, if I want to kick, I'm not just going to leave my legs straight and kick you like that, because there's no power. So when I do this kick for a 540, I'm going to do a roundhouse kick, where I turn my hips sideways and kick through like that, while bending that knee. So make sure when you do this that you're patient and turn your hips before you actually kick, and kick through with a roundhouse kick, like so. So here's the 2 examples. Number 1, this is with a crescent kick. As you can see, I kind of fumbled a little bit there because number 1, it's not something I'm used to doing because I don't 540 like that. But number 2, it's because there is not as much power coming through on that. It's just kind of letting my legs ride through. Now, if I actually kick through with a roundhouse kick where I turn my hips, kick through my target, here's how it turns out. Much better and much cleaner. So, you be the judge, but for me as a martial artist, I think that option number 2 is the better option. That's how one way that I make my 540 a lot better. Alright, so my next 2 tips are pretty much just going to be based on that first tip, so make sure that you really study and focus in on kicking through with a roundhouse kick. Because tip number 2 is chamber. Alright, if I chamber my kick like this, when I kick through for my 540, there will be a lot more power coming through than if I'm just to turn my hips, and again, same idea, let it ride through. Again, we got to remember this is a kick. If we are just dragging our leg through, even if it is the proper hip position as a roundhouse kick, there's still no power, because it's just like swinging your arm. If I actually chamber and swing my arm for a punch, it's a lot different. There's a lot more of that whipping motion. Alright, so think about it like this. If someone has a whip, they do not swing it like this to try to hit something. They are snapping it where they want it to go. The same idea occurs when you do a 540 with your leg and you are chambering your kick and kicking through. So the difference is this as opposed to this. There's a big difference, especially when you get in the air and you have no ground resistance. Alright, so keep that in mind. Okay, last tip is timing. Alright, this is basically a concept that I, and I'm sure a lot of other trickers, have taken from gymnasts. Gymnasts always say that when you go up to do a flip, we'll take a backflip as an example, as soon as you start rotating, you start falling. So that's why they always say you need to wait until you're at the peak of your jump for a backflip in order to actually tuck in and rotate. And you can see that all over the place. Alan Davis, he does some massive jumps, but you see that he times it so perfectly that he gets as much height as he can before he starts falling to then rotate. The same thing applies with a 540. If I kick immediately as I come off of the ground, I'm not going to gain any height from it. Alright? Even when it is only off just 1 foot. You're going to get 0 height if you kick immediately off the ground. So here's how I think about it. When I turn, I go here, I spot my target, you're my target. I am looking at you guys. As I come around, I will wait until my hips are in position, then I'll wait a half second and kick through. There'll be that hang time. When you get that hang time is when it is optimal to kick, because you are at the peak of your jump. There's nowhere else for you to go up. You're only going to go down from that point. So once you get to that part where you are hanging there in the air still, that's when you need to kick. Now, it's going to be different for each person. I have pretty big legs, so I can get some good jump, but there are people who have bigger legs than I do, and they might be able to get more jump. And there are people who have smaller legs than I do that might not be able to get as much jump. So it's going to be completely determined on your capacity. But you're going to have to play with it and figure out where your height is at the peak of your jump. So one good drill for this is to do this. Come around, jump, just do that. You should be spotting your target. When you spot your target, you should see a moment where you are just still. Right there. That's when I'm still. So that is when I will kick through. Now, it's going to be a little difficult to see when I'm just kicking through without slow-mo. So at the very end of this video, I'm going to leave you guys with a few slow-mos so that you guys can study and look and see when I actually float and then kick through. And again, you're going to have to decide for yourself when the optimal time for you to kick is, because I don't know how much height you get. Alright? But hopefully this was helpful. I'm hopefully going to make more of these videos on different kicks, different tricks, stuff that I'm very good at that people want me to do, because I've had a lot of requests for jackknife, 720, that kind of stuff. So I'll be making some more of these videos. Hopefully it was helpful. We'll leave you with these slow-mos and study up. Thank you guys. Tag me in your videos if you guys decide to use these tips for your 540. I want to see what you guys have got. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye.